Girl talk number 4. Right now we're in Alexandria, Louisiana on state number 25, day 690, and we've completed over 5,400 miles. We're taking a few days to wait out the bad weather. Thank you to Barbara who gifted us her Airbnb for our stay. Our content, as many of you know, is largely positive. We want to be a source of respite for people who only ever see bad news and clickbaity, meaningless, attention span shortening content. But if we want to really showcase what the mind is capable of, it's not going to be by only showing you the happy moments and picture perfect moments. So I wanted to talk to you guys about the challenges we face and the common misconceptions of what is difficult about our walk. One of the most common misconceptions is that people would be our biggest concern. It's one of the first questions we get asked by most people. Aren't you afraid? Haven't people threatened you or scared you? Are you ever in a dangerous circumstance? Are you ever fearful of the person you choose to stay with? And the answer is no, we haven't really been afraid of someone that we've met. We are cautious and we're on guard, and we don't stay with anyone that we might get an off-putting feeling from. We try to feel people out or look at their Facebook before we choose to stay somewhere. We're not ignorant to the fact that something bad could happen. The chances of someone hurting you without reason is literally 1 in a million. And of course, there's always the chance of us getting robbed. With how long we're walking and how many different places we're walking through, it's unlikely that we won't be robbed at some point, but it's not going to deter us. It'll still be worth it to have walked there, and we will still continue to walk if we are robbed. People aren't the dangerous stranger that you think they are. The world isn't the evil, scary place that most people think. It's full of a lot of people trying to do good, a lot of people who don't know how to do good but are working to be a good person. We've met thousands and thousands of strangers and shaken thousands of hands and stayed in over 400 strangers' homes. We've never been threatened or robbed or felt like we were very in danger of someone. Number 2, the biggest danger we face is traffic. People do not act the way they do face to face that they do behind the wheel. Something about the veil of anonymity makes people a lot more inconsiderate. We've seen people look right at us while flying by a few inches away, 60 miles an hour, choosing to not slow down or get over. We've almost been hit hundreds of times. I couldn't even begin to guess how many times we've been inches away or a foot away from being hit. We have to stay in the lane of traffic sometimes. We have to be on pavement. Sometimes we don't even have the option to get over into grass if we're barred up next to a concrete wall, like over a little bridge that doesn't have a shoulder. We are forced into the lane of traffic. We aren't likely to die on this walk from someone who wants to kill us for no reason. We're likely to die by getting hit by someone who's driving. Number 3, quote, "That must be so freeing. I wish I could leave everything behind and just walk like you guys." It was more freeing in the beginning. Before we started social media, the first 6 months was all about developing our own resiliency. It was just for us. It was for our own mental growth. And we didn't choose to make Facebook or our website or any of the platforms until after the first 6 months. We wanted to share with people what we were learning about our minds, and we've kind of flipped it completely. We're sacrificing our own mental health to share with the world what we're learning. We want to make the world a better place, and looking at our screens all day and worrying about the opinions of thousands of people just isn't healthy. We have to really, really work at finding time to be alone together, finding time to read, meditate, work out, any alone time, anything healthy that is for us. We have to really make space for, because this walk is not easy. It's very overwhelming and stressful sometimes. We have to prioritize our mental health if we want to be able to impact the world. Number 4, one of the biggest challenges is not having stable relationships. Not just being away from people you miss all the time, but not being able to be around anyone that you didn't just meet. You can't let loose and be yourself and completely relax and be silly when you're around a new person. Even if you've known them for a couple days, it's not the same as being around someone that you've known for years. we are always balancing trying to be real and honest with people and also being receptive and received. We're constantly concerned with opinions and judgments of others. It's something you can't completely pull away from when you're in a new space all the time. We also don't get the alone time together that people think. It would appear from the outside that we're together all the time, but we're often walking behind each other in line. Almost all the time we're not walking side by side because of traffic safety, and we have to really prioritize alone time sometimes. Like, even on our rest days, we're often spending at least half the day working, if not more, and we have to prioritize date nights and time together, time to not worry about Facebook, not look at the screens, not spend time with other people. We'll try and spend a little portion of time with our host and then prioritize having secluded alone time. Like right now, our Airbnb host was really kind and gifted us all this space to ourselves because they know that we needed it for some mental recuperation. Number 5, the stimulation and amount of socializing. I never thought that you could experience so much life in such a short time before walking the country. We wake up with our host, we pack and get ready and spend a little time of the morning talking with them a lot of the time. We walk all day concerning ourselves with traffic while working social media. We have bike mounts in our phones, so we steer while messaging people and responding to comments and creating content while waving at people and worrying about getting hit by cars, while sometimes also going up and down hills or up mountains or dealing with cold weather or rain or hot summer days. It's a lot to take on, and then at the end of the day, we are most often with a host. We will spend the evening with them. We often spend several hours talking with them over dinner, and then after that, we have a lot of chores to do. We cook Jack's food, we have to pack it and freeze it, we have to charge our devices, fill up the waters, shower, do laundry, get all the things ready. It's a lot to do in a day. And now we've taken on the challenge of spending 20 minutes exercising, 20 minutes reading, and 20 minutes meditating every day so that we can set a good example and also work on our own mental health and keep ourselves healthy enough to impact others. Oh, and can't forget the number of people that we talk to throughout the day. We will talk to anywhere from 30 to 120 people, depending on the area. People stop to pull over. People are often surprised by this. People will pull over anywhere to stop and talk. We get pulled over in the middle of a full-sized highway all the time, which is exactly what we want. We want to talk to people. We want people to be excited about our journey. It is all about sharing what we've learned, trying to share what we know about training the mind with as many people as we can. We're doing this to impact the world, and if people weren't stopping and talking, we wouldn't be impacting people as much. But that is another weight on us mentally, to be talking to so many people while working social media, dealing with the weather, dealing with traffic. It is just a lot of experience. Number 6, judgments and opinions. I think the biggest stress of the walk in a populated area like Louisiana is all of the opinions. It's not that everyone is directly rude. Very few people are mean or comment negative things. But to talk to as many people as we do in person and staying with a new person every night and talk to thousands of people online, it is a lot to concern yourself with all of the opinions of so many people. You're trying to balance the diversity of how you're going to be received, trying to be as honest as we can while being received well still. We don't want to just be brutally honest all the time. We want to impact people the best we can, and you have to work on balancing being true to what you think and speaking in a way that is going to be received, that is going to impact people, and it's extremely difficult. And when we go through a day that we talk to over 100 people and get hundreds of comments and dozens of messages, and then get to our host home and talk to them all night and see them in the morning, it can be a lot. it can be very, very stressful. I know that I am very mentally fortified. I can put myself through a lot and keep going, but as the walk builds up and people know of our presence more and we socialize more and more, it can be very, very taxing. A few days recently, after almost being hit so many times and talking to so many people, I just get to the end of the day and I lay on Torrent and I just cry. Not because there was one terrible interaction or someone was really mean. It's not anything like that. It's all of the buildup, all of the opinions, all of the stimulation, being right at the edge of almost dying. It's terrifying and exhausting and stressful. And that's not to complain at all. We are absolutely amazed at how well we've been received and how much love and kindness we've received. But this is why the walk means what it does. It wouldn't be any example to show the world if it wasn't extremely difficult. But despite the fact that sometimes we get really stressed out, sometimes I cry at the end of the day, we choose to keep going. We are still showcasing how resilient the mind is. We can keep going despite the challenge, and we choose to because we want to impact the world and try and help be a good influence and make the world a better place. That is a huge reason why we've decided to shorten our segments and go home more often. While our first and second segment were 6 months and 11 months long, we are now doing a couple months or a couple states long, so we can go home and rest and recuperate. It isn't enough to just have a couple days off. The stress stacks. It's not something we can completely dissolve in a couple of rest days or meditating every night. We have to do that just to keep stable and try and stay healthy, but we really need the more extended time off. It's been a huge relief to see the end in sight and not feel like you're so far away from ever getting alone time, getting to rest, getting to see family, getting to work on relationships and work on yourself and not worry about the opinions of thousands of people. Everyone is very opinionated, and some are more vocal about it, so you can always see if someone has a lot of judgment. You can see it on their face. People wear their judgment more than they think, and people are always trying to feel us out, trying to see if we're doing what we say we're doing, trying to see if they think it's justified, if they approve of the reasoning while they're asking about why we're walking. You can see that they're waiting to see if they think it's enough to support it, or if they think that they're gonna walk away and be like, I don't know about those guys. The judgment of traffic, of people that don't know who we are or what we're doing. People are a little quick to judge. You can see it on a lot of faces. We deal with a lot of opinions, and it's overwhelming. We're not meant to deal with the opinions of thousands of people, but we can get through it, and we can be stronger for it, and we can learn more and share what we're learning with the world. We're really grateful to be in the position that we are. And that's Girl Talk number 4. Thanks for watching. Love you guys. Hello.